configure a RPM switch with a Blue Arc ECU, you'll see that you can have quite a few switches like boost control, aircon control, boost, ignition relay, RPM switch 1. I just want to go on a drop down, it's easier to show. You've got basically 6 RPM switches that you can configure in different ways. A ref counter output, starter relay, temperature switching with all your water auxiliary and air temperature inputs. But let's cover the RPM switch quickly. The on RPM and the off RPM is where the thing would switch on and off. You can also do that another time and say there on, so it would be on from 2000 RPM to 4150 RPM, then it would be off up to 5650 RPM. The output would switch back on up to 8100. You don't need to use it like that. You can always just go like that and just use the one. If you want to switch something on at a certain point and never off, if you would like to use load, you can either use load on manifold pressure, which you can say at a certain load point up to another load point it would go on at -0.4 and never off unless it goes under 0.4, or you can move it on 0.4 bar boost if you want to. You could also go and say just TPS, so anything press center, and then this one move it all the way to 100%, or you can also move it so that it would switch on at 50% and it would only switch off if you go under 48. So there's different ways of configuring that part. You can also use both, also with delays like VTEC or something like that that you don't want to switch off unless it goes under the RPM. You can also use both of them at the same time, so that's up to you how you want to configure that. You can also say if the battery temperature, the battery voltage is not within this limits, if it goes over 12.5 then it's allowed to go on, and if it goes below 12 it's not allowed to go on anymore, like if you're running nitros or whatever reason you want to use. Water temperature can also say between this temperature and that temperature we would like to use this switch. If it's not within that parameter it will not go on. Can also add air temp, auxiliary temp, and add time delay before pin is activated. So if you use that, then you can put a delay on of however long you want to have the thing on the one-shot timer. You can also add fuel or auxiliary fuel on with a switch, or timing at the same time. So this is just the one switch. So if you go and you go select another switch, another RPM switch, you can configure that to something else, and the same story with all the rest, and that as well, another one. It doesn't matter which one you use where, you'll see that they'll go on and off at different places. So if you start running them, they will show you here what goes on and off at what points. So switch 4 is on at the moment, and switch 2 on. Which one is switch 1 now? It's this one. 2000, there's too many other parameters that need to be met, so it won't go on because the map and TPS is enabled, let's say not in use, off, battery voltage off. So now you can see what goes on and off at what RPM points. So 1 is on, 4 is on, and 2 is on. So they're all independently programmable that you can use for like a ref counter output. Say cylinder 1 pulse if you want to tune the like timing and so forth.